someone get this disgusting pig off social media. I now totally understand why Harry and Meghan have been calling for more action when it comes to social media. Aside from them being constantly abused and harassed online, the people like Angela Levin don't even need a platform. Don't need a platform. She made the most disgusting comment about Princess Lilibet. And one thing I can applaud people for is that they are dragging her on social media. They are calling her out. Oh my God. I now literally have hope when it comes to humanity. The way people are defending Meghan and Princess Lilibet, oh my God, you guys are awesome. People like Angela Levin need to be reminded, you just don't wake up, spew nonsense, or think you can make comments and get away with it. You don't do that. So now people are dragging, and I'm not even kidding. Even people who support her, the so-called derangers who support her, are literally calling her out, saying, hey, you've crossed the line. You just don't say disgusting things about a 3-year-old. You don't say disgusting things about a child. You should not pick on a child. That is disgusting, sick behavior. And I love that people are literally defending and protecting Princess Lilibet and Meghan. You are so Angela Levin, whose own mother hated her. Her own mother could not stand her. That's why she does not know anything about motherhood, anything about being loved by a mother. I mean, her own mother could not stand her. So that should tell you enough. Made the most unhinged, the most disgusting post on X. So recently, Meghan shared a beautiful clip of Lilibet, helping her in the kitchen. They were cooking and they were making jam. And Meghan asked for Lilibet's opinion on the jam. And she said, it's beautiful, mama. Like, I think it's beautiful. Such a sweet, sweet moment. A beautiful moment that took the internet by storm. For the Scotties, we were so excited to have a glimpse of that, to hear, her cute, amazing, raspy voice. But this idiot, Angela Levin, literally had other plans. So she took to X and said, Meghan Markle's daughter doesn't speak at all like a 3-year-old. Who owns the voice? It will show up much better if we hear several sentences. This is what this pig said on X. This disgusting, vile human being. This is what she said on X, targeting a 3-year-old. Mind you, she's in her late 70s. I don't even know, and I don't even care to know. She is literally attacking a 3-year-old. That is disgusting. That is sick. You need help. I think you're sick. There's something wrong in your head. It's sick. So now fans and people who literally, or even people who have an ounce of compassion, or they know right from wrong, took to on X, and on her post they were dragging her, and I'm here for it. They were dragging them, thousands of posts. I mean, hundreds, if not thousands, if not hundreds, if not thousands of posts, like comments responding to that tweet. And I love that so many people came in defense of Princess Lilibet and Meghan. I love that. So I'm just going to read some of the comments. I could not read all of them. I just have some, and I just love that people were dragging her on, because she's just a disgusting pig. So Game of Admission says, I just don't get the obsession you have with her. What am I missing? Do I like or admire her from the things she does or not done? No, but this constant need to invent or find something to take her down. I get the both, but you are or was some sort of journalist in the past, and this is where you landed. This is where she chose, out of everything, this is where she chose to land. Mind you, she was a journalist. That's crazy. So Smoker says, my grandniece is 2 years old and she speaks very maturely. It shocks us sometimes, really. And then Maud says, I would guess she is surrounded by intelligent people who speak to her. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then J.E. May says, the girl is 2 months from her 4th birthday. Sounds age appropriate to me. Exactly. And then Trace to Go says, my 4-year-old niece is blossoming, speaking clearly, beginning to read, memorizing, and proudly writing her name. Her favorite response at the moment is a cheerful, you're welcome. She loves emotive words like beautiful, wonderful, and amazing, and says them often. Have you not got kids? She doesn't even know what motherhood is, right? And then Kathy White says, what no post about Andrew, the S offender. Angela, mind you, you condone the abuse of young children, don't you? You knew about Jimmy Savile and did nothing. You're a disgusting pose. Get back in the gutter where you belong. I agree. Go back where you belong. And then Michelle says, you need help and I recommend your family get POA over you. The utter tripe you comment about a young child is unhealthy. I have 6 grandchildren and she speaks perfectly fine. True. And then Gregory Nick says, Angela, these are babies. Can your racist ass get a fucking grip? My God, what's wrong with you? My God, what's wrong with you? I mean, that's what she meant to say. Instead of God, he wrote, good. What is wrong with you? And then Onwards and Upwards says, sucking children now, you old, that word. Social services should keep an eye on you. And then Paynes says, Angela Levine, you've had over 70 years to learn the English language. Lilibet has had less than 3 and she can still speak better than you. Why are you so intent to go after Lily? She's a 2-year-old girl. And then Risi says, tell me, Angela, do you have children? Have you been around people's 3-year-olds for long periods? I have, and can tell you that Megan's daughter does indeed sound like a 3-year-old. You sound like all the other derangers with sickening delusions. Give it a rest already. B says, on the other hand, you are jealous wasn't old cow. And guess what? You sound like one. Could we please hear few sentences from you? Well said, B. Could we please? And then Nova says, oh dear, you are still alive? You old wicked witch. Remember when you were 3 years old? How you packed up and left your crude mother for your solo miserable life? Liar, liar. Her own mother could not stand her. That should tell you everything you need to know about Angela. Nika says, you're an obsessed old woman. Seek help for your obsession. It's her voice and she said beautiful. She probably speaks better than you. Picking on a 3-year-old is sad and low level. I know 3-year-olds who speak well and say certain words. I sure as well do. As well. My niece, she's actually turning 2 and she speaks really well. And so Hat Trick Servant says, oops, like a Jew, inadvertently telling the world that you and your ilk are idiots. You can barely talk at your big age, so I guess it's not surprising that you believe an almost 4-year can speak clearly. And then Ditsy says, what woman goes in on an innocent 3-year-old because they hate their mother? I presume you're a mother too. You're grown and are conducting yourself in a real classless manner. Never spite children, especially when you're trying to get notoriety. Disgusting. Deb says, your obsession with H&M is disturbing enough, but commenting on their children is downright creepy. Absolutely. Mel, what a sad and weird old lady you are. Truly pathetic for you and not a good look for the roles you represent, but to be expected. So glad Harry and Meghan and their kids are away from all you nut jobs. I'm so happy that Harry took them away and they're happy and living their best lives in Montecito. Angie says, my grandchild is 4 months short of 3 and he speaks perfectly. And so did my 5 children. Healthy dialogue between parent and child enhances their development. Children mimic their parents in all aspects of their growth, including vocabulary. And one thing we know about Harry and Meghan, they have incredible vocabulary and they're excellent speakers. I mean, look at their, speeches. They are so good. Neka says, I really hope they sue you and the rest of the sad, pathetic trolls. Yes, freedom of speech, but to pick on a 3-year-old is disgusting. You don't like them, but you follow and comment on everything, which makes you a fan. I never understand how these derangers and so-called experts keep constantly saying they hate Meghan, they cancel Meghan, but they are constantly in Meghan's business. If you hate someone, go leave them and go find someone else you like. And then Danny says, she talks perfectly. Maybe your idea of a 3-year-old is like Kate, who can only mumble. Way to go, Daddy. Way to go. Kimmy says, please seek professional help and stop stalking kids. You are not owed anything. Exactly. And I hate how these people always think they have an opinion when it comes to Archie and Lilibet. They're not your kids. They're Harry and Meghan's kids. They know what's right for them, not you. And then Michelle says, what a reprehensible, unpleasant old witch you are, Miss Leven. Find you so utterly distasteful, you so lacking in moral compass, just to denigrate Harry and his family while snitching and earning your living off the back of the Sussexes. It means it says, because you speak like a witch on a broom doesn't mean everyone else should. because, because you speak like a witch on a broom. Oh, that is funny. That is funny. And then Busy Bee says, you really are needing help. You hate her so much you have to watch or read everything she does. Not healthy for an elderly woman to be this obsessed. Poor soul. She's lonely. She's pathetic. That's why she's obsessed. She doesn't even know what love is. I mean, her own mother abandoned her. That should tell you everything. Zada says, at your age, you are unable to even speak properly. Stop attacking a child, you pathetic old cow. And then Kevin says, no wonder your mother hated you. No wonder your mother hated you. I totally agree. And then Enya says, are you okay, Angela? Focus on those lazy two wells. They are next to pick your pocket. And then CRT says, Angela, have you taken up trauma therapy for your own mother hating you? And think she needs to take that. Literally. And then the cat's mother says, give it a rest, you demented, bitter old bat. Whilst you're at it, try using a current photo. We all know what you really look like. And then there's a picture of Angela. I'm going to place it there. You're going to see. And then Grinchy says, and people wonder why they don't show their children faces. Fine, you hate their parents, but leave children out of it. Such a horrid tweet from an old woman who should know better. Unfortunately, she does not know better. And then Helen says, what is wrong with you, woman? Children at around 4 years use sentences that have 4 to 6 words in them, and they use pronouns. At Angela Levin, you really are insufferable. Yes, she is. And then Nikki says, I don't genuinely believe in hell, but I'm thinking about believing just so you can go there. Oh, she will. She's awful. She's a disgusting human being. And then HRH says, so now you're stalking and making fun of a child? Please seek help. You're embarrassing yourself in front of the whole world. And then Stella Trevor Myers says, what in heaven's name is wrong with you people? Is this all you have to do with your time? Get a darn life. Get a life, Angela. No one gives a F about you. And then Marge says, so not content with your desperate running commentary on the life and times of King Charles' son and wife, you're now spouting bile and personally attacking their daughter, a preschool cutie. And you call yourself a journalist? I prefer Lady Wizened Old Shrew. And then last comment, Jan says, and they wonder why Harry and Meghan protect their children from these royal family-sponsored vultures, always screaming, leave the children alone when it comes to Willie and Kitty's offspring. But here they go, tearing into a 3-year-old shuffle. I'm sorry. One thing I like about this entire thing, her being dragged, is that people are standing up for Meghan and most importantly for Princess Lilibet. You just don't attack a 3-year-old. It's disgusting behavior. And for someone who's 70 years and above, she'll know better. Someone who's also close to in her 80s, you'd think she'd know better. But, and mind you, she was a journalist. You'd think she'd know a thing or two about ethics, know that children are no-go zone. Actually, people just hating on people should not actually, it's just wrong to hate on someone. To troll and to cyber, to bully and harass someone is just plain wrong. And I love that people are dragging at. There's so many comments, guys. I can't go through all of them. Just wanted you guys to know what's happening. Princess Lilibet is such a beautiful daughter. She's literally well spoken for her age, and that is okay. Like many children are. It's totally okay. And disgusting pigs like Angela Levin, who don't know what love is because they never got that love from their mothers, they're so bitter and projecting that, so that what she's just doing is projecting. And I know they also do these things where they're like provoking Meghan in hopes that she finally releases pictures of Archie and Lilibet so that they can exploit them. But no, Harry and Meghan continue protecting Archie and Lilibet, keep their faces hidden because we know for a fact they cannot stand that. They hate they don't have access to you. So they're using ways to provoke you guys. So you release these pictures to prove a point, but don't let them choke. So as always, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, to like and to share. I'm Iraj, and I will see you in my next video.